Olivier, how are you?
I'm good.
A couple days before the fight, man.
Do I need to talk in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Please, thank you.
how are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I mean, it's been 2 months since your fight. I just wanted to know, like, your thoughts on that performance. We had Natan in earlier. He said he still feels he won that fight. How did you feel about the performance?
It's such a weird question because he feel he won that fight. I feel I won that fight. Two judge failed. I won that fight, and one judge failed. He won that fight. So who give a shit? Like, who give a shit? Like, seriously, like, who give a shit? I think it could have been any one of us who won this fight. It was a tight fight, but at the end of the day, I won. I mean, he had some fight in the PFL that people thought he lost, but he won the $1 million instead. So who cares? Like, to be honest, who cares? Like, if you win, if you lose, it's done. It's done. Now he have to look at his next fight, and if he want to fight me again this season, he need to probably win in the first round. So I think it's useless to think about that. It's useless for me, and it's useless for him. It's not useless for you guys, that's for sure. But for us, I think it's useless. Yeah.
You don't have a graphic tee on. It's you're kind of just plain this time.
Yeah. I was thinking about putting my my good old Arnie is a number one Uno.
Yeah, where is it?
It's in my room, but I said, yeah, fuck, they're gonna think I just have one T-shirt. So I decided to go Koala. It's a company from Montreal that is really plain. I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like being more flashy. Sometimes I feel that this is the best way to put myself. I'm a really big fan of the Japanese streetwear, but no, I guess not today. And so next time maybe.
Well, you look good either way.
Fucking guy.
Relief.
Yeah.
House, man. So you're fighting last year's champion. I guess how excited are you that you're getting him in the second round, and then just kind of your thoughts on the matchup?
I think it's a pretty weird matchup that PFL did. I did an interview with this guy talking about that. But yeah, I think it's a weird matchup. But at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna fight everybody in the division. All the best guys, I'm gonna fight them since it's a tournament. So I don't care fighting them right now or after. But I do feel a little bit bad for Manfield. Since I think he deserved to do the tournament. But other than that, like, who cares, you know? It's just that the feeling I got, I think the four best guy were me, Schultz, Manfield, and probably Collard in the division. And I think we should have the four of us done the tournament. But I don't think the best guy is going to be in the tournament this year. Since I'm fighting Manfield and I fought Schultz already, so I think it's a weird matchup. Like I said, I don't understand really why there's 4 winners that fight winners, and one of them fight a losers. I don't want to take anything away from the loser, but I think every winner should fight a loser. It's not fair if that is not the case. And the same thing goes for the losers. I think they should all fight to winners. Now there's just one of them who fight a winners, and which is Stevie Ray. And not only does he fight a winner, but he fight after everybody. So it's I think it's kind of unfair for him. I think it's kind of unfair for what is his name, Miles, the one who fought Pettis. I think Miles is in the worst spot. I mean, I just saw him just before. He's a pretty big guy, and to make his weight twice in a month and a half, it's pretty brutal. So I don't think it's fair for him. But you know, life is unfair, and we still have the opportunity. So I think we are lucky to have this opportunity with PFL. So yeah, I think that's my thought. Was it okay?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fantastic. And finally, just for you, how does it feel to be back competing? You're on a schedule after sitting out last year. Now you're competing. You're ready to go. Just how are you feeling?
Well, I mean, I'm that's what, my fourth fight in 2 years. So maybe it's the question is a little bit outdated, but what I feel crazy about this year is I'm probably gonna be sober longer than not this year, and that's since I'm 16. So, so I think it's crazy that this year I will be more sober than not sober, since I have to fight so many times, and I stopped drinking 1 month before a fight. So it's I think it's pretty interesting. Like last fight, I went crazy for a week or two, and then straight to the gym again. And to be completely honest, I feel that maybe all the past year I was doing it wrong. I think it's a lot better to go back straight away to the gym. I don't want a sponsor, but I have like this ring that tell me all the statistics of my body, and it's crazy how the difference it make. Like I beat all my record this training camp.
Wow.
And last training camp I was beating everything. Now I'm beating everything, and probably next one I'm gonna beat everything again. So my heart rate at rest never been that low. My sleep is good, my weight is good, so it's pretty interesting to see, and it's exciting too. You know, I feel that I did everything wrong for the last 10 years. Maybe I was partying a little bit too much in between fights. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Thank you.
Going back to your last fight, judges, there's a hot topic right now about open scoring, and I'm just curious what your thought is about that.
I think the open scoring would be better for fighters, but it would be not as good for the show, and it's show business. So I do think it should stay like this. But for sure, for us fighters, it would be a lot better to make it open. But it's for the show. I mean, it's show business. Like yeah, it's cool to make a living from a sport, but the truth is we do it for other people. We do it for people that look at it, and it's much more exciting when you don't know the outcome. Much more exciting. It's much more exciting for everything, for betting, for to watch the fight. So I do think it should stay like this. But do I think it would be better for fighters? Yeah, of course.
What if there was a way for you guys to see the scores, but not the public to see the scores?
Well,
and it would be semi-open scoring.
Yeah. So I don't think that's possible, because the betting perspective is so big, and it would be too complicated. Too complicated. We have to understand that the betting in sport is so big. There's so much money in there, and probably if there was no betting, there wouldn't be no sports. And I mean, it's too important. So I don't think it's possible. I think there's already enough gangster in sports, and if we want more gangster, we should do your idea, and I don't think that's a good idea.
And then just a fun one. Who do you see in the finals? I'm assuming you're on one side. Who are you facing?
After Manfield, I do think Color is the best. Yeah, I do think Color. Well, I mean, he beat Pettis, and I think it's pretty clear what PFL want. They want Stephens and Pettis in the tournament, and it's completely understandable. If I was the Ray, I would think the same. I think that these two are the two biggest names, and you want them to be on the tournament to make PFL grow. But I do not think both of them are the best. I think Colored beat them. Well, he already beat them, but I think Colored in final would be a really tough match.
Thank you.
You mentioned how influential betting is for the sport. Are you ever aware of the odds going in, and have you ever considered betting on yourself?
I never consider betting on myself, because every fight I bet on myself. in the meaning that if I lose half my half my pay. So it's already a pretty big bet. I remember last UFC fight, people were like, "Oh, you should bet on yourself. You're a plus 200." I was like, "Bro, I don't know, man. If I lose, I'm already losing $33,000. So I think I'm gonna take it easy on this one." But yeah, no, I never bet on myself. I'm sponsored by Bet99, so I follow all the bets and everything, and actually do a podcast about that. I think it's a really interesting way to watch a fight, and it's like if you want to win with betting, it's really complicated. I think people do not understand how hard it is to win at the end of the year. But yeah, no, I never thought about betting for myself, and of course I never thought about betting against myself. But yeah, I would have liked to be at the PFL event 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Was it pre-recorded?
Yeah, the pre-recorded one. I would be happy.
Haoush has a habit of keeping every fight razor close. And you're coming off of a split decision. Do you have any difference in your game plan as to separate yourself in the octagon?
It's pretty funny. I think you're the first one that see that from all the interview I did. Everybody was telling me about the big KO he did last fight, and they were like, "Oh, are you scared of his KO power?" I was like, "Bro, he's not known for his KO power. He's known for stealing round, stealing like how do you say that? Closer.
The razor thin.
Razor thin round. So he's really good at stealing those. And I think that's the big thing. I have to be careful. I think I have to. It have to be clear that I win every round. But yeah, for sure, it's gonna be a different fight. Him and Schultz have a really different style, and I don't even think you're gonna be able to compare the two styles I'm gonna have in the cage for this fight. It's gonna be like so much, even from the other fight. I mean, Manfield is so different than everybody I fought, and I said that before. He's such a gamer. Like if you go toe to toe with him, you go toe to toe. If you want to play the waiting game, he's playing the waiting game. You have some power. I mean, he KO'd the match last fight, but he hurt a lot of his last opponent. I think he hurt Pellis, who was at the time concussed maybe 3 times by colored, but still he hurt him, and he hurt Loic too in the final. But I do think his best performance last year was against Loic. But yeah, he's a tricky fighter. Manfield is a really tricky fighter. I really think I should have fought him in the tournament.
Thank you.
I was going to ask, when you kind of compare Haoush and your resumes, obviously I think it's a no-brainer that you've fought the tougher opponents, you've gained a lot more experience. Do you think that's something that's going to give you an advantage coming into this fight?
I don't think he's going to give me an advantage, but I do think I fought a better guy from them than him, and I fought better guy that he fought too. So an advantage? I don't think so. I don't think there's an advantage. I mean, every up-and-comer at that point, like they didn't fight anybody big until they fight the big guy and they KO'd him. Like we can remember Conor McGregor, that everybody was saying he have no experience compared to Aldo, but he knocked him out in 10 seconds. So no, I don't think there's an advantage. I think he probably, well, both of us are coming in this fight with a lot of come on, how do you say that? Like we are sure we're gonna win. Confidence, because we are the only 2 guys in the division that are undefeated in PFL. He didn't win. He didn't lose last year. I didn't lose last year. I'm 3-0 in the PFL. I think he's 4-0 in the PFL. So yeah, it's easy 4-0. Yeah, 4-0. So I think it's really no, it's 5-0 in the PFL. So I think it's a really interesting matchup, and I think I do think for big fans it's the best fight of the night. You know, I really think so.
I wanted to ask, your last opponent, Schultz, was actually Manfield's, friend and training partner.
Yeah.
So is there anything you learned in your fight with him that you think is going to be applicable in this upcoming fight?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, those two guys have two different style. The thing with Schultz, he was really weaponizing his cardio and his shin. Shin is this?
Yeah.
Chin. Okay, chin. So he was really good to weaponize those two things. And Manfield is not the same. He is truly not the same. He have really good cardio, but he is really not the same. So I think it's gonna be different. Did I learn anything? Not really. I don't think so. I mean, I'm so different than GSP. I'm so different than everybody, but they train at the same gym as I am. So best example is me and Mendel Nalo from the Bellator. Like there's two opposite styles, but we're at the same gym. It doesn't mean that if somebody fight me, he's gonna know something crazy about Mendel. So no, I don't think I have any advantage with that.
Okay. And obviously, Schultz was also like the 2019 champion, a two-time champion. So coming off a win off of that, does that give you some sort of like confidence booster or change your mentality, fighting a 2021 champion?
Yeah, but well, like I said that I think in my last interview, in my last fight, I really think Schultz is the one of the toughest opponent in the division. Manfield is up there too, but I do think Schultz was a more trickier fighter. But yeah, I mean, confidence. Like what's confidence? I think I'm done with being confident. I'm just doing it because I like it right now. And I was a little bit stressed during my last fight because I was truly not stressed. So I was stressing for not stressing. I was like, well, like I'm fighting in 30 minutes and I don't care. Like I just want to be here and fight the guy and be in vacation after. And it was a really weird experience, and I think I feel the same this time. I just want it to happen. That's it. Like I was always scared of that moment before, but now I just want it to happen. And I think it's really interesting. Maybe it's because of the PFL format that you have to fight really close, quickly every fight. So right now I'm just looking for the next fight so I can fight after. So it's an interesting shift of mentality. I find for me in the last. It started the last fight actually. But I don't remember the question, but I think that's my answer.
Okay. And last question is just, what kind of statement you're trying to make by beating Manfield?
Oh, I think if I beat Manfield, everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, thank you.